Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hey, it's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer, Chief Book Officer of Self-Publishing 30 Days. I'm excited to be with you. I get the honor and the pleasure to be able to interview those who are titans of industry. Today, I got Mr. Marquel Russell in the building. Marquel, man, thank you for joining us today. Say hello to the people.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, Marquel, I know for those who are listening, we're going to have links, ways that people are able to connect with you. We don't want anybody throwing fried green tomatoes at the screen after they get through hearing this fire that you're going to drop on them, brother. But we like to have those who are here to introduce. So if you don't mind, share a little bit about yourself and what you do. I believe in hearing it from the source and not somebody else.
For sure, man. So I'm Marquel Russell. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm just a guy who dropped out of high school in 10th grade, got a 9th grade education, started getting in trouble at a young age, started my first businesses in the pharmaceutical arena at a very young age, right? So that kind of led me to going to jail, dropping out of high school, the whole 9 yards. Fast forward, was able to get blessed to be exposed to some mentors. And I didn't even know what mentor was. As I was growing up in my environment, I never even heard the word mentor. Probably until I was like 25 or something, probably. So that exposed me to a whole new world, which was network marketing at the time. And network marketing exposed me to personal development. And that all led me into direct response marketing, learning how to generate leads and get clients online. And then people reached out, was asking me how was I doing it? And they wanted me to teach them. So then I discovered that coaching was a thing. You know, I'm thinking coaching is like basketball coaching, football coaching, stuff like that. But it's like people like pay you to coach them, and they'll pay you for the information that you have. And that blew me away. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I started this coaching business. That coaching business grew. We grew it to the 6-figure mark. And then people want to know, well, how do we do that? And then we start, people start paying us to help them do that. And then fast forward a few more years, we launched this company called Client Attraction University. I cut off the network marketing stuff and just went totally in on Client Attraction University. And to date, we've helped our clients do over $250 million in revenue. And people typically come to us when they want to get more clients. They want to have more profit. They want to have more freedom, and they want to have more impact. So people know if they want to do any of those things, they want to attract more clients and scale their business to the 7-figure mark and beyond while working 50% less. There's no one better.
I just want to just use a little street terminology. So you didn't understand that people would pay you for game.
100%.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I translate for some of those who are watching right now. 100%. You didn't know, but just don't let the jacket fool you. So I just look like this. But with that being said, that is true. So I had to have Marquel on here today to be able to share for those, because I think it's imperative for those who are listening. Those of you who've been furloughed, those of you who are having to change up, you might have had a comfort zone, but you were forced out of that nest or whatnot. Now it's fly or die, flight or fight. And I think Marquel is the perfect guest when we look at an industry of a titan of industry when it comes to this arena, because he was able to find his own lane. So for those of you who might be like, Darren, I know I didn't come from this particular family. Darren, you don't know the color of my skin. Darren, you don't know my gender. Darren, you don't know my sexual orientation. Darren, you don't know where I am on the socioeconomic ladder. It doesn't matter, because we got someone live here in the flesh that's doing his thing. I want to dive into this because we talked about this off air before we went on, dealing with you being underdressed, quote unquote. I told you, no, man, you Gucci. I mean, you all good. Let me translate. That means that you're all good. You're great. You're terrific. With that being said, I want to dive into it because I've been able to utilize this. For those who didn't know, I got a Southern drawl like Tim McGraw, but that's actually my strength. So when I'm in New York, I'm in another country, I'm speaking, I'm able to leverage me being from the South and me being unique even in the industry that I'm in. So for those who are here and listening, especially, I know you believe in attractive marketing or whatnot, not chasing clients, but attracting the right clients, but also knowing that it's okay for you to be you and you can still get to the bag, or you can still generate revenue. Let me make sure I give that out there for those who are listening. So if you don't mind, Marquel, share the importance of being able to be authentically you and still generate revenue, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I think it's really freeing, Darren, right? So it's like it has to be exhausting trying to be somebody else the whole time, right? What if you could just wake up every day and be you? And the beautiful thing is, no matter how hard you try to be other people, no matter how hard you try to cater to everybody, no matter how hard you try to change how you talk or how you show up, some people still going to judge you. Some people still aren't going to do business with you. So you may as well be you, because when you're you, you're going to attract people you want. And when it comes down to marketing and client attraction, the effective marketing does two things at one time. It attracts people to you while repelling others from you. So you want to be doing both at the same time, right? So it's naturally, even though you show up fly, suit, the whole nine, some people are going to be like, oh, well, he's still a brother, or he's still a lighter skinned brother, or he's still got the southern drawl, right? Or he ain't tall, short, or the short enough. It's always going to be something, right? So it's like, I show up, me, tatted, goals, tats on my necks, ripped up True Religion jeans, Air Force Ones, t-shirt or polo, whatever, however I'm feeling. But I just come and deliver. And I think, like you said, that becomes my unfair advantage, because when people see me, they automatically judge me. And they automatically think, I told my clients one time, I was like, one of my biggest strengths is people think I'm stupid. So when they see me come in the room, they never see me coming. And then when I started talking, they like, okay. And now it just shakes up everything they ever believed, even growing up. So I get people on my ads and stuff, and they're like, well, my mom always said you never trust somebody with goals in their mouth. And I'm like, cool. But you think about it, where I'm from, where you grow up, the old church mama who made food for the church had a goal or had multiple goals. Like the people who the whole hood looked up to had goals. But somehow in there was like, you never trust the person with the goals. But, it's just easier being me. And at one point, to be honest with you, I came out of network marketing. So it was all about wear suits, look a certain way. You got to portray a certain thing, fake it till you make it. And that never sat well with me. However, but I did the suits. And then once I realized I did, then I transitioned to like blazers and pants. And then I was like, you know what? I can just be me. And I did. I might show up with a hoodie and speak in front of 400 or 500 people. And everybody's suited and booted, but they're like, "Oh my God, this is great!" And I ain't saying no shade against suits. I think suits are dope, and I think everybody like has their thing, right? But I think whatever your thing is, like, be that 100%, and don't water yourself down, just trying to cater to people. Because once you do that, you're gonna still run off people who are ideal for you, and then attract people who aren't for you.
When I think about that, Marquel, what you're sharing is the importance of that. And I love that last point that you brought. This isn't to throw shade at anybody or make anybody feel a certain way. What we're trying to tell you, in other words, do you, boo. Do you. Whatever that is, that's you. Be you, whatever that is. Now, my wife or anybody tell you, I'll be like this all the time. They're like, man, ain't it hot to you? But this is just who I am. So Marquel is saying the same thing. This is who he is. What we're sharing is we're two different individuals, but we're coming with the same purpose and the goal to free you, to let you know you don't have to be ensnared to somebody else's ideology or idea. And being you will make others uncomfortable, but that's okay, because that's repelling those who don't align with you. So that's the thing that we want you to get, is being able to understand that the sauce is you're able to deliver. You brought up the delivering word, and the proof is in the pudding, as we say down south. So I think that results speak louder than the shirt you got on, than ripped up jeans. I'm going to use a great philosopher, and it's not Galileo, it's not any other names that some might know, but it's a great philosopher called Jay-Z. So from the book of Jay-Z, say real recognize real, and you're looking familiar. And men and women lie, but numbers don't. So I gave you a double dose of that game right there real quick. But with that being said, you were able to articulate when you open up. So I'm just bringing back some of these gems that for an untrained eye that they wouldn't pick up on. But for those who are about that life and live that life, because we got to, because of the things that we're responsible for, you shared a lot for us what you was teaching people when you initially showed up. It wasn't long and drawn out. You were specific. You knew who your target avatar is. You were sharing, even in the opening of this podcast, you was attracting the right people and repelling people. If I'm looking at, just walking around with poodles, and I don't want no more than just one poodle to walk, then I know that your services aren't for me, because you're talking about attracting the right people, having more clients. So share the importance, if you don't mind, about how your numbers speak for you, or how your level of service for the people, because goals or not, can you get the job done? That's what most people are looking for. I know me personally, are you able to get the results? I don't need to have all the sugar and the whipped cream on top. Are you able to deliver? So can you share with the audience how that has helped you with delivering, and how it can be beneficial for them on delivering on what they say they can do?
For sure. So one of the things we do, of course, one of the biggest things. So like a lot of people ask me, like, well, Marquel, why don't you show the cars off online, or the home, or all this different type of stuff, and it's like, or flashing the money online. And again, it ain't no shade to nobody who do that. That's just not my thing, right? And especially like where I'm from, like I just never moved like that. Like even when I was like in the element, I was like, that's just not my speed. What I do is show off is our client success, right? So so I'm not showing like my screenshots inside of my merchant account. Could I do that? Could that drive more revenue? Could that? It probably could, but it's probably going to also attract a lot of stuff that I don't want to attract as well. So I would rather not do that. You know what I'm saying? But what two things we do that really make us stand out is we brag about our client success stories. I never brag about how much we made last month or today or last week, but 100% I'm gonna share what our clients did every chance I get. So that's number one, and I'm gonna scream their praises from the rooftop. Number two is I tell people the best way to show people you can help them is by actually helping them. How do you do that? Well, we create tons of content. We put out at least one piece of content, video content, every single day. You go to our YouTube channel, we got thousands of videos. You go to our Instagram, video every day, sometimes multiple videos. We email every day. And it's not selling stuff, it's just more value. We go live once a week. We put out a podcast every single week. We do an event, every quarter, the whole 9 yards, right? I'm always putting out more value. That's why interviews like these, I'd be like, all right, let's do it. Cause this is my opportunity to, make some quality connections with brothers like my guy, Darren, and then also serve, his audience or anybody else who sees this, in a big way as well. So you show people you can help them by actually helping them. And then some people say, well, how do you know where to draw the line? Like, how do you know where do you stop where you're not giving away too much? Because they're like, if you give away too much, then they ain't gonna buy your paid thing. And I'm like, that's not true, right? If you give from a heart of giving, right, what the real ones are gonna think is like, if his free stuff is this good, I can only imagine how the paid stuff is. Let me get into the paid. I've had people go through our free stuff and be like, look, man, I implemented what you said in that video yesterday. I made 10 grand. Or I implemented, I saw you speak at this event. I'm implementing that. I made 15 grand. How do I get started? How do we work together? If your free stuff is that good, how do I get started? And people got to understand the laws, the natural laws. Well, just like if I pick my phone up right now and I drop it, it's going to hit the ground. It ain't going to float. It's the law of gravity. So it's the same, the law of sowing and reaping as well. So if you sow a seed, you get back multiples. You know what I'm saying? You don't sow a seed and get back a seed. You sow a seed, you get a tree, which has multiple apples, which has multiple seeds. And then before you know it, you got an entire vineyard or whatever the case may be, or apple tree forest just from that one seed. But most people they think so lax and think limited, that it hinders them from actually growing and having the actual impact that they want to have. Does that make sense, bro?
Man, I don't know about nobody else on here. I know what he's talking about is true. But if you don't know this, what he just gave you is worth millions.
For
literally,
sure.
Literally. Now, anybody who knows what he just gave you for free, a man of his own word, he's practicing what he's preaching. Because what he just shared on this podcast, if you would have spent 10 grand to go to a VIP luncheon, if you would have spent 50 grand, 100 grand to be of an exclusive mastermind, and you got that information what he just gave you for free here on Market Leader Live, you'll be the better for it if you can understand that. If you get that information right there. I mean, when we look at this And I'm just going to say, even for us, I'm not going to put anybody else out there. I'm just saying that I'm just going to share a little bit what I feel about what you just brought up to show us as a living testimony of what that is. Even with me and the companies that I own, that's the secret sauce. Bro, what you just said, people are like, how you number one self-publishing company? Why? Because I'm not in competition with nobody. I have no problem collaborating nobody. Because what's for me is for me. And plus, you can't stop a soul.
Yep.
You can't stop a title, baby. It's a natural. No matter if you wanted to stop me, you can't stop me.
You can't.
Because I got seed in the ground.
Got seed in the ground, man. I'm getting goosebumps.
you can't. I mean, even if you want to. So I just, even while we talking right now, just boom. It's some certain numbers that just came up on the phone over here while we talking. Why? But I had just sold a seed the other day on something else. Not like I didn't even have other seed in the ground. But I delivered and sold another seed. And it's so fast, even past 100, what the return is. Yep. And I want to bring this up too, Marquel, because you brought this up, because I'm going to share this as a business owner, but I also want to look at this as a consumer. When I first got into business, I had a gentleman, I followed the same funnel that you're talking about right now. I was looking at getting into a particular type of business. I got some of this guy content, checked out some of the free stuff, went online. I mean, I was textbook when it talks about coming through a funnel. Man, love this stuff, love this videos, love this social media. Went into some of his content, bought some of the low hanging fruit at first, tapped into that. And then it was just to the point where it was like, hey, bruh, you've added so much value with your free stuff. Whatever it is, I can't lose because I've won so much off of the free stuff.
Right.
I can only imagine what you're going to tell me when I'm actually investing something to get it. Right. Where I'm willing to give the money up. I'm willing to invest. Notice I'm saying invest, not spending. I'm saying investing because it's so much value that I'm looking at going to his events. Not only am I going to his events, now I'm a raving fan. I'm sharing his content on social media. I'm telling other people that I'm connected to it about it. And I'm steady doing it years later because of the information that I got. A dude sold me, somebody thought I was crazy. I'm just showing just a testimony of how this is powerful what Marquel just shared. I bought a book from the dude. It was just a straight book on game. It wasn't published. He had it where the image on the front, like he had just binding it up, had a member of his team, but he had added so much value that I didn't even care how it looked. It's just like one of the old women at the church. When you know the cake good, you don't even have to worry about how the cake look. It might not look like a cake in a store, but you know Miss Johnson can cook. And when you go in there, you getting that cake, you know what you're going to get from Miss Johnson. That's the same way it is with this gentleman who I work with. So Marquel, I know people are doing the same thing. Numbers don't lie. The proof is in the pudding. So I want to dive into this real quick. We know your clients. What would you say as far as longevity? Because you've showed some pivots that you made in your career where you might have been in an industry and you went into another. And I'm hearing a little bit of, the Jack Welch or whatnot with the GE, how you was able to look at what's actually performing or what area I want to be in. And you was willing to part ways with other departments or other areas that might have been good for one season, but wasn't aligning in the new season you was going on. Can you somewhat carry us through your mental fortitude to be able to make those tough decisions to go into where you're going in this new season? Because some people can't let go if they done made money in another season. So can you talk about the transition component and what you went through on that?
Yeah, for sure. So for one, I think people got to be clear. They got to be clear on like what they're looking to do, right? So a lot of people ask me, all right, Marquel, how did you continue, like, even when things was hard, even when your girl was paying the bills and the whole 9 yards? And I was like, well, first of all, like, I had to make this happen. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I didn't have a corporate job to fall back on. I don't got a resume. Like, I don't even know what I would put on it. Like, I don't got a diploma, none of that. So I had to make this happen. That's number one. Number two, I tell people all the time that iteration is not most people out the game. So we were with a lot of people in the market and stuff. And I tell people, don't spend so much time trying to make this thing your version of perfect, because number one, your version of perfect doesn't exist. And you don't really know if it's going to work until the market sees it anyway. So just because you think it sounds good, you think it looks good, you think it's polished, none of it doesn't matter until the market votes with their credit card. If the market doesn't vote with their credit card, it doesn't matter how much time you spend on it. So most people get knocked out the gate with just the iterations. So as I start to implement it, and I just start implementing fast, I just started seeing what the market wanted, and I was listening to the market. So I'm gonna give you an example of the whole evolution, right? So I got into network marketing, and there was this video phone technology, whatever the case may be, right? And in network marketing, they tell you, just talk to your friends and family, talk to people who come within 3 feet of you, do home and hotel parties and stuff like that. And I was like, cool, this is all I know. I didn't know no better. I just knew it was a way for me to get out the streets. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm listening. So I was doing it, but they don't really teach you how to market. And me, where I'm from, you don't just bring people to your house. I'm not finna bring my people to your house because y'all talking about all this money and flashing and all that. Like, I ain't gonna bring my people over there because they'll end up doubling back. So I'm like, that ain't gonna work. So that I'm not the guy. I used to be like a super introvert. So like me speaking on stages and all that, that's not like my natural personality. I kind of grew into that, but I'm more like to myself. When I ain't interviewing and stuff like that, I'm to myself. Even when I'm at the house, I'm like chilling, to myself. So talking to people who come within 3 feet of me ain't gonna work. So I did a little bit to some level, but even that plateaued. Then somebody on my team sent me a link that said, hey, here's how you can build your network marketing business without doing home parties and stuff like that. So that introduced me to online. And then I saw an opportunity, again, listening to the market. I was like, dang, other network marketers need to learn how to get leads. And then I also saw that the majority of people who were in this direct response online marketing space, they didn't look like me. So it was a whole bunch of white guys, older white ladies or whatever. And I was like, what if I learned this and took it, implemented it, and started sharing it with my people and started sharing it with other people who are coming, after me? Because I know it's people going to be joining network marketing for the first time today or tomorrow or whatever. But what if I was there so they didn't have to go that route and I could show them this online lead generation thing? So I went in with the intention of not only learning it for me, but also teaching it to other people. So I kind of went into the door to learn it from that perspective. So as I started doing that, I was just teaching what I was learning. So once I learned how to generate one lead, I'll do a video on how to generate one lead. I had a 5 lead day. I did a video on how to generate 5 leads. That turned into 20 leads a day to taught how to do that. And I ended up doing a book, right? Speaking of self-publishing, I ended up doing a book. A buddy of mine, I paid him like $200 or something. I forget exactly what I paid him. He wasn't even my buddy at the time. I just knew he helped people with books. So I did the book, and then people wanted, after, I kind of brought it back up. People was like, how did you do your book? I know you're an author or whatever. So I did a webinar on it was how to publish a book or whatever. And I sold this course called Publishing for Profit Mastery. Again, just listening to the market. So that led to my first $13,430.83 month. Because online, the holy grail is $10,000 a month. So that led me to my first $13,000 a month. That next month, I did another webinar and I sold another program called the Rapid Growth Blueprint or something like that. And it basically taught how I made $13,430.83 in 1 month. So again, just listening to the market, providing a solution, and I'm just teaching what I'm learning. So I ain't teaching like how to make millions because I hadn't done none of that at that point, right? So I was only teaching what I was learning, listening to the market. And then people started reaching out, asking me, can I coach them? That's when I discovered that coaching was a thing and people wanted coaching. So I was like, well, how do you package this? So I started charging like just a real little. I thought it was a lot, but it wasn't. Then I started charging $300 a month, and that got us to $10,000 a month with that coaching business. And I was like, well, what if I charge $500 a month, right? And then people was paying the $500 a month. So I was like, this is crazy. So then that kind of led me to the high ticket stuff when I started learning how the high ticket models and things of that nature. But long story short, all I was doing was continuing to be a student through every phase, listening to the market, seeing what the market was telling me that they wanted, and I was creating the solutions based on what I could provide to them and just going all in on that. And I found out that 534,000 businesses get started every month. 8 out of 10 of those businesses go out of business within like 18 months because they don't know how to consistently get clients. So I was like, well, what if I carved out And I was like, that's my thing. If you want more clients for your business and you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a service provider, because we've mastered that particular business model, what if we just made that and we plant our flag in that? And that's what we've done. And it's worked. It's worked miracles for us.
Man, I'm telling you, it's as the great Alicia Keys is not a girl, but man, that man is on fire. When I think about this, man, the old back NBA jams, man, I'm dating myself a little bit, man. You're on fire. But when I hear what you're sharing, this is a masterclass. This is a flat out masterclass. You're talking to somebody. I invest a lot, hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself personally. I know some of the rooms I've been in, and what we're hearing here on this free podcast will take you to the next level. Now, this is the catch, and Marquel knows this too as well. Some of you not gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. So even though he's giving the game to you, even though it was for free, some of you gonna find a way to sleep on this good game that he's been able to give us, on this qualified information that he's giving you. You saying you don't like your situation. You might say that it's not ideal, or you want to level up and go to another level. Everything that this gentleman has shared with us today can make you a millionaire. I mean, if you don't, let me just extract the nugget of just teaching what you know, AKA just stay a chapter ahead.
That's it.
You can do that. He's not talking about being a brain surgeon.
No.
He's talking about what he did. He did this, so he teach you on this. But some of you will find a way not to teach someone because you think you need a doctorate in it. So since you haven't made $1 million, you can't tell somebody how you made the 13 grand.
Yeah.
So you will forfeit the opportunity, missing out on what you could have. I love this quote by T.D. Jakes where he said, most people acquiesce to known hells, forfeiting unknown heavens. Most people acquiesce to known hells, forfeiting unknown heavens. So when you do and let that marinate like a good T-bone steak, when you understand the importance of that, if Marquel is not open to sharing what he knows, creating a solution, being able to have servant leadership to pour into people's lives, he just took what he knows. And so I'm bringing this up especially for those of you who are out there who I like to call you're too smart. See, a secret sauce for Marquel too, because he understood, like, man, I've been through some things. I got to make this work. I don't need to be going around here trying to be super deep. Okay, the market is telling me what they want. Some of you are so caught up on your ideologies and who you think you are that you're not listening to the market. You're ready to fight the market because now you have made the market a hater. Because they have repelled what you put out instead of you understanding and treating it as beta testing or R&D to make the necessary adjustments you need and make a pivot in the marketplace. You'll flounder, you'll fall and be a part of those 8 businesses out of the 10 that end up going out of business because you know it all. And then you're blaming the consumer that it's a problem with them instead of learning from the consumer and being able to adjust in the marketplace and win. Give people what they want. Don't forget that. Give people what they're paying or what they're investing in you for, not what you want. My whole goal is, and I share with people, is this. Now, if you're the only one who's gonna buy the product, then you can make the product because you're the only one gonna buy it. Other than that, you got to take what Mr. Russell is sharing with us of the importance of staying a chapter ahead or teaching what you do know, guiding somebody, or as giving that free content. Also understanding too as well, just because you did one thing when you learn something else, I believe being a ravenous learner, staying hungry to learn will allow for you to scale. Just me personally going and being sharing a testimony of what he's talking about, the events that I've been a part of, the masterminds that I've been part of. Not only am I learning the content from those experts and people who are living the life that I want or successful in the area or arena that I need to grow in, also I'm getting the content that they're submitting and the takeaways, how they're presenting things that I can utilize for myself and for my own company.
Yep.
Also, I'm able to connect with other people like Mr. Russell that's going to be in the room as well, because we understand the value in investing to be in proximity to other people that's going to help us level up and to think different and to be able to network and partner and collaborate with each other, because we don't have a scarcity mindset or lack mindset. We think in overflow. We are overflow. We are abundance. So we know there is some kind of way that we can add value, and value can be added to us by thinking that way. Now, when you're hearing this information, I want you to take this with you and understand, hey, it's your time. It's your moment. But if you feel like, man, I hear what they're saying, but I don't know if I can do that, I'm telling you, get around the right people. We're going to have all the information for Mr. Russell in the show notes. But Marquel, man, if you don't mind, for that person, man, who's out there thinking like, man, where can I get started? How can I get in contact with this brother? Man, I need help. I don't want to be a part of that 8 out of that 10, man, who go out of business, or I need to start my business, but I need to do it the right way. Man, share with the people what's the next steps, how they can connect with you, how can they follow you on social media, website, whatever you want to offer. We'll have it in the show notes. Cool. But please share with people what they can do to connect with you and your team.
Yeah. So what I would suggest is the number one thing you want to be able to control your client acquisition process, like how you get leads, how you get clients every single day. So I got a free gift. So if you go to paidadplaybook.com, so that's PAIDAD playbook.com, it shows you how to get 50 to 100 leads every single day and how to convert those leads into actual clients that pay you top dollar. So we walk you through that process step by step. You're going to get the actual playbook that you can download, print out, have on your desk so you can launch profitable marketing campaigns, and you get a bonus video that comes along with it as well that shows you how to customize it for your business specifically. So all you got to do is go to paidadplaybook.com, get it all there for 100% free. And if you're on Instagram, so Instagram, Marquel Russell, my Facebook, Marquel Russell. So whichever one is your favorite platform, go over there, shoot me a DM and a direct message. Let me know that you saw me here on the show. And then I got another special gift for you. Now, let me say one last thing. If you go to the paidadplaybook.com, you get everything for free. If you decide you want to work with us, you're going to see somewhere where you can apply to work with us, right? It's going to say who referred you. Make sure you put Darren referred you, and then we'll also give you an additional scholarship where you can actually save some money in terms of working with us. So that's what I got.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, I believe in giving flowers to the people when I'm talking to you. Man, I'm always a student. I'm always I'm always growing, man. And so I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate what you do, brother. You're actually changing lives. You're helping people create generational wealth. You're giving and inspiring people. Just by you being you is hope for so many out there, man. All walks of life, all nationalities, man. So even though I know you like to get in your cubby hole, when I get in your silo and chill, I thank you, man, for getting out your comfort zone, because that's a prime example, because you have a greater cause, man. And so I appreciate all that you do, man. And thank you for coming on to Market Live Live. It's been a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
Anytime. For those who are listening to this show, remember that if you won't change, be the change. Until next time, be blessed and be great.